Campaign Calling Media welcomes you to the HRD India talk show. Dear viewers, in today's scenario where resources are optimized and in an era of cost correction, human resource is the only resource which has been the most important and also a complex one. Today we are going to talk about the same. I'm Dalia Mukherjee and I have with me the industry experts. Today I have with me a seasonal professional with hands-on experience with major MNCs like Accenture, Hewlett-Packard and Flipkart, and also leading project operations and compliance for various global regions like Europe, Africa, Asia, etc. He has also been mentoring new startups. It's a pleasure in welcoming Mr. Sumit Dutta. Mr. Dutta, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Great. So we'll straight go to the point and a few questions I'm sure a lot of you would want to know. What it takes for a person to crack an interview?
Okay, that's one hell of a question in terms of understanding various bits of important attributes which aspiring minds today at times don't tend to look into or grasp. They believe it just academic credentials go ahead and help them out do a lot many cracking in the interviews and such, but that's not actually the thing. It's how you put forward yourself as well. It's how you present yourself as well. It's how you talk and the logical point of view, the logical attributes of what do you want to say, how do you want to say it, the way you project your expectations, the way you project your expertise, the way you project your personality in whole, that matters a lot. And in terms of presentability, yes, of course, your attire does matter, but along with which, your attitude towards the interviewer or the organization as a whole, as a go-getter, that matters a lot. And it varies from aspirants, willing to go ahead for startups or to go ahead with, top-notch MNCs. There's a difference in that because the thought process is different, and at times it matters as to how and who is sitting at the above, the other side of the table, and they, should be intrigued by you, as to they would want to know more about you, as to not just what you've earned, what in terms of your scores or what you have developed in terms of what you have been doing or you have done in the past. It's more of what you bring today to them. It's more of what you bring in, what value add apart from your skill sets do you put into the company. That is what matters more to an organization. Could be a startup or could be an MNC.
Okay. So what is your advice to probably stand out from a conventional interview process?
Well, to stand out from a conventional interview process, I would particularly say that just be yourself. Don't just go there as a wannabe. The more you project yourself as a wannabe, you're caught very at the very preliminary stages, and you tend to sound a lot of your vocabulary rather sounds a lot of script in it. So if you sound scripted, that's when you bore people off, and more rather than just making a mark of having that spark in the personality that you bring along, it's how you put across yourself confidently and apt to the point, to the crux of the matter, to the questions, to the way of outlook, what you think about the organization. That makes you stand out rather than just preparing yourself on a scripted note.
Right. We have heard quite a lot about the right person in the right job. So what exactly do you mean by that?
Right person in the right job. All right. Now that is one particular skill set which the startup as well as the MNC recruiters have to judge, have to filter out at the preliminary phases of how you go ahead and what do you want in a resource to be working with you in your organization. Now, companies like INV, Ziegler Education Private Limited, wherein they give an opportunity to the resources to go ahead and indulge themselves into the organizational activities in line to their KRAs and KPIs. That's something which is the best part about these kind of companies. They want to offer more than what just a person at a 9 to 6 job might be expecting. They just don't want programmers. They just don't want coders. They just don't want salesmen. They expect team players out of it. They expect supportive characters in there, because not everybody is an expert, right? So it takes some time for an individual to go ahead and put forward what more do they bring in their bag and baggage to the organization as a resource. And coming into the aspects of what is the difference, say if you go to an MNC, the culture is pretty much process oriented, and in startups you may see that there is a lack of little bit of process oriented. But end of the day, if a resource, if a candidate, an aspirant rather to be, starts working out in an organization which gives you the upper hand of doing the things that you want to do in the way and get the job done in the right manner at the right time, there's nothing more than that any kind of an HR would be looking into. And at the initial phases, it's more of credentials that an HR would be looking into to onboard you as a resource, rather than just a star player on certificates. That's it.
Well, I'm sure that information would help a lot of us. Thank you very, very much for being on our show, Mr. Dutta.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me here.